Kurunji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurunji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurunjischoolnkl.in.
In continuation to the last class, in this class we are going to discuss about thermodynamic processes, right? In that we have quasi-static process, isothermal process, adiabatic process, isochoric process and isobaric process, at last cyclic process, right? So these many different types of process we have in our thermodynamics, right? We'll discuss one by one. First, quasi-static process, right? Listen carefully, because here we have regarding this quasi-static process, which is somewhat complicated to understand and to experience also when compared to the rest of the process. That's why here we have a lot of information and you just be concentrate to understand what is quasi-static process slowly. See this. Consider a gas in thermal and mechanical equilibrium with its surroundings. Consider a gas in thermal and mechanical equilibrium with its surroundings. Do you have an idea what is meant by thermal equilibrium and what is meant by mechanical equilibrium? Generally the word equilibrium refers the net external force is 0. That is what we can say mechanical equilibrium. But when we talk about thermal equilibrium, we have to see the variation of temperature. Regarding the composition of the gas in different time intervals. In that way you can understand thermal equilibrium and mechanical equilibrium with its surroundings, right? Okay. Now, the pressure of the gas in that case equals the external pressure. The pressure of the gas in that case equals the external pressure and its temperature is same as that of its surroundings. I will repeat once again. The pressure of the gas in that case equals the external pressure and its temperature is same as that of its surroundings. Suppose that the external pressure is suddenly reduced. He is going for experimentation. When the external pressure is suddenly reduced, see what is meant by the reducing of external pressure suddenly? What is meant by reducing of the external pressure suddenly? For example, by lifting the weight on the movable piston in the container. See, in the container there is a movable piston, no? On the piston there is some weight. That weight immediately you are going to remove. Then what will happen? You are decreasing the pressure. You are reducing the pressure suddenly. That's what he is saying. How we can reduce the external pressure suddenly, right? Suppose that the external pressure reduced suddenly, the piston will accelerate outward. During this process, the gas passes through states that are not equilibrium states. Please try to understand my statement. Suppose that the external pressure is suddenly reduced, the piston will accelerate outward. During the process, the gas passes through states that are not equilibrium states. Right. The see, which are not equilibrium states means that states you can call it as non-equilibrium states, no. The non-equilibrium states do not have well-defined pressure. The non-equilibrium states do not have well-defined pressure and temperature. So it is like that is what are the non-equilibrium states he is saying, which do not have well-defined pressure and temperature. In the same way, if a finite temperature difference exists between the gas and its surroundings, there will be a rapid exchange of heat during which the gas will pass through non-equilibrium states. I will repeat once again. In the same way, if a finite temperature difference exists between the gas and the surroundings, between the system and the surroundings, there will be a rapid exchange of heat. There will be a rapid exchange of heat during which the gas will pass through non-equilibrium states. Right? In due course, at that time, the gas will settle to an equilibrium state with well-defined temperature and pressure equal to those of the surroundings. This is what when there is a finite temperature difference exists between the gas and the surroundings. This is the important point we have to keep in mind. This point will give the justice to get the equilibrium states with a well-defined temperature and pressure equal to those of the surroundings. Right. Now, the free expansion of a gas. Please try to understand the word free expansion of the gas. The free expansion of the gas in vacuum and mixture of gases. The free expansion of the gas in vacuum and mixture of gases undergoing an explosive chemical reaction are also examples where the system goes through non-equilibrium states. So here he is giving some examples. One is free expansion of a gas in vacuum and another one is mixture of gases undergoing an explosive chemical reaction. These two are the examples where the system goes through non-equilibrium states. Next point. Non-equilibrium states of a system are difficult to deal with it. It is therefore convenient to imagine an idealized process. In which at every stage of the system is an equilibrium state. Such a process is in principle infinitely slow, hence the name is quasi-static. Right? So based on this total information, I want to give that is what a concise statement, a concise information. This total information I want to go. I'm going to concise. Please be understand. See, when a gas is moving from one stage to another stage, see, one stage to another stage means what? Changing the pressure, temperature, right? Obviously. See, when there are sudden changes, you cannot expect the same state which we can come to back. When you are not able to come to back, right? It is not the discussion here. What is the discussion means? When you are changing the state, for example, P1, V1 or T1, next going to P2, V2, T2, next going to P3, V3, T3. After reaching that state P3, V3, T3, again you are coming back to P2, V2, T2 and then you are getting back into the P1, V1, T1 without any changes in the gas composition and etc. See, this is what happens when the process is infinitely slow. That is what he is saying, quasi-static process. Right? Okay. See, that only I am going to say in clear. The system changes its variables, pressure, temperature, volume so slowly that it remains in thermal and mechanical equilibrium with its surroundings throughout. In this process, in this quasi-static process, at every stage, the difference in the pressure of the system and the external pressure is infinitesimally small. The same is true of the temperature difference between the system and its surroundings. So that to take a gas from the state Pt to another state P dash T dash via a quasi-static process, we change the external pressure by a very small amount, allow the system to equalize its pressure with that of the surroundings and continue the process infinitely slow until the system achieves the pressure P dash. Similarly, to change the temperature, we introduced an infinitesimally small temperature difference between the system and the surrounding reservoirs, and by choosing reservoirs of progressively different temperatures from T to T dash, then the system achieves the temperature of T dash from T, because the initial temperature is T. See, that is these are the reasons you can say a quasi-static process is obviously a hypothetical construct, right? So we can't give the practical existence almost like when compared to the remaining process. That's why he is saying hypothetical construct. In practice, these processes that are sufficiently slow and do not involve accelerated motion of the piston, large temperature gradient, etc., which are reasonably approximation to an ideal quasi-static process. So we have ideal gas equation now. See, ideal gas equation means that is what ideal. So you can imagine real gas means that will be different. It has existence. That's why what is the difference present between real gas and ideal gas? Similarly, you may had a difference between the quasi-static process and the rest of the process, right? So here this we shall from now on deal with quasi-static process only, except when stated otherwise. See, this total information from last 5 to 8 minutes what I told. What is the meaning of the quasi-static process? Means when you are taking the changes either in pressure or temperature slowly, you can expect back to the original state without having a much changes in the chemical composition. This is what possible when you are taking the stages from first stage to second stage and second to third and third to second and second to one, infinitely slow. Then you can say that this process is quasi-static and you can expect the equilibrium states and at every stage, and you can expect the same situation what it has initially regarding a gas container or gas. But it is in practical, it is very difficult, and you can say that it is a hypothetical construct. Right, next process that is isothermal process. What is meant by isothermal process? Isothermal process means a process in which the temperature of the system is kept fixed throughout is called an isothermal process. The expansion of a gas in a metallic cylinder placed in a large reservoir of fixed temperature is an example of isothermal process. So as simple as such, you just remember the temperature of a gas container, the temperature of a gas is constant throughout the situation what we are going to consider is said to be under isothermal process. See, when the temperature is constant, you can say heat transferred from the reservoir to the system does not materially affect the temperature of the reservoir because of its very large heat capacity. What is heat capacity? That now we discussed in our previous class, thermodynamics, third class. So in isobaric process, the pressure is constant. That is another process. Isobaric process, the pressure is constant, while in isochoric process, volume is constant. Finally, if the system is insulated from surroundings, finally, if the system is insulated from surroundings and no heat flows between the system and the surroundings, the process is called as adiabatic process. So, adiabatic process means change in heat energy is zero, heat energy is constant. Heat energy is constant. Now I told you briefly what are isothermal process and isochoric process and isobaric process and adiabatic process. That you can see in this table also, types of process and feature. Isothermal means temperature is constant, isochoric means volume is constant, isobaric means pressure is constant, adiabatic means delta Q is equal to 0. That's why delta Q is equal to 0 means what? No heat flow between the system and the surroundings. No heat flow between the system and surroundings. Okay, right. And you can see this picture when you are observing quasi-static process. It is what P comma T, and it is what T plus delta T, and it is P plus delta P, and it is the piston. It is a gas contains in the cylinder or gas container, right? That is. Now we are going to discuss detail regarding isothermal process and adiabatic process, isochoric process, isobaric process, and cyclic process also. Cyclic process also, right? Okay. First, isothermal process. I already told you what is isothermal process. Isothermal process means temperature is constant. Temperature is constant, right? Okay. For an ideal gas, this is the equation we already know. PV is equal to constant. PV is equal to constant. Here you can say pressure is inversely proportional to volume. So pressure of a given mass of gas varies inversely as its volume. This is nothing but Boyle's law, no? P is directly proportional to 1 by V is the Boyle's law. Otherwise PV is equal to constant. Suppose for example, if you take an ideal gas goes isothermally from its initial state P1 V1 to its final state P2 V2, because the temperature is constant. At any intermediate stage with pressure P and volume change from V to V plus delta V, V to V plus delta V, what is the amount of work? See, what is the initial stage P1 V1, what is the final stage P2 V2. Suppose you just imagine an intermediate stage where the pressure is P and the volume change from V to V plus delta V. So change in volume is delta V, no? Right. So at that intermediate stage, I mean from initial stage to the intermediate stage, the amount of work delta W is equal to P into delta V. You just take delta V tends to 0. That is what as change in volume reaches 0, and summing the equation, summing the quantity delta W over the entire process to calculate the work. We are going to calculate work. There we need the help of mathematics and the calculus integration. So W is equal to integration V1 to V2 P delta V. So PV is equal to nRT formula theriyuma. So here PV is equal to mu RT. So mu RT integration V1 to V2 delta dV by V. See, it is mu RT like outside of the integration calculus, and inside ln V2 by V1. This is the amount of work done in case of isothermal process. In case of isothermal process. So here in the second step we have made use of the ideal gas equation PV is equal to mu RT and taken the constants out of the integral. That is the mathematical process, right? So when you are integrating, constant will come outside. For an ideal gas, internal energy depends only on the temperature. That's why there is no change in the internal energy of an ideal gas in an isothermal process. In an isothermal process. And as we discussed in our previous class, that is previous to the before class, the first law of thermodynamics implies that heat supplied to the gas equals the work done by the gas. Equals the work done by the gas, that is Q is equal to W. For V2 is greater than V1, W is greater than 0, and for V2 is less than V1, W is less than 0. That's why in an isothermal expansion, the gas absorbs heat and does work, while in an isothermal compression, work is done on the gas by the environment and heat is released. The last point I will repeat once again, because here two different cases will come. One thing is, the gas absorbs heat and does the work, where in isothermal expansion, the gas absorbs heat and does the work. But in case of isothermal compression, work is done on the gas by the surroundings, otherwise by the environment, and heat will be released. So these two special cases we have to keep in mind when we are going to solve the problems, either board level or NEET level problems. This is isothermal compression and isothermal expansion. The two steps are important for us to get the suitable or required output answer. See here. Next process, adiabatic process. So we completed quasi-static process and isothermal process. Now we are going to discuss adiabatic process. I already told you what is meant by adiabatic process. Delta Q is equal to 0, no? Delta Q is equal to 0. No heat flow between the system and the surroundings. Right. In an adiabatic process, the system is insulated from the surroundings and heat absorbed or released is 0. See, to make the heat flow 0, what we have to do? We have to consider a adiabatic wall which stops the flow of heat from system to the surroundings or from surroundings to the system. So the work done by the gas results in decrease in its internal energy. You can also say, without proof, for an adiabatic process of an ideal gas, without proof you can also say, for an adiabatic process of an ideal gas, PV to the power of gamma is equal to constant. For an ideal gas, if you consider the change in state adiabatically, P1 V1 power gamma is equal to P2 V2 power gamma. So from this relation, you can write this one. And what is gamma? It is the ratio of Cp by Cv, no? What is Cp? Molar specific heat at constant pressure. What is Cv? Molar specific heat at constant volume. Right? And what is molar specific heat? And what is the definition? We had a discussion in our previous class. So here, gamma is the ratio of specific heat capacities at constant pressure to the constant volume. So that mathematically you can write it as gamma is equal to Cp by Cv. Gamma is equal to Cp by Cv. Right. Now we are going to calculate the amount of work done. See this graph also. It is a volume and it is a pressure, and it will be isothermal, adiabatic, isothermal, and it is also adiabatic. So see the equations, arrow mark. So here in this direction, that is what towards right. Here it is what towards coming down, and it is what towards left, and it is what going up. See the arrow marks. See the cycle, how it is changing from how the values of pressure and volume are changing in different process, isothermal process and adiabatic process. Regarding this graph, now we are going to calculate the amount of work done. That is W is equal to integration V1 to V2 P dV. P dV. P means pressure, no? Right. Now in place of P we are going to write constant by V power gamma, and then here constant. Here if we are going to integrate, we are getting constant into V power minus gamma plus 1 divided by 1 minus gamma V1 V2. And in the next step, W is equal to 1 by 1 minus gamma. Here P2 V2 power gamma divided by V2 power gamma minus 1 minus P1 V1 power gamma divided by V1 power gamma minus 1. So we are taking 1 by 1 minus gamma outside, and here P2 V2 minus P1 V1. So by using that formula, PV is equal to mu RT, here mu R into T1 minus T2 divided by gamma minus 1. Actually it is T2 minus T1 ma. To write T1 minus T2, here we are interchanging this 1 minus gamma to gamma minus 1. This is the amount of work done in case of adiabatic process, right? So here, as we expected, if work is done by the gas in adiabatic process, W is greater than 0, then automatically T2 is less than T1. Suppose if work is done on the gas, that is W is less than 0 means then T2 is greater than T1. That's why you can say the temperature of the gas rises. When T2 is greater than T1, what can we say? Temperature of the gas rises. Next, isochoric process. Isochoric process means, as I told you, volume is constant. So no work is done on the gas or by the gas, because W is equal to P into delta V now. When delta V is 0, automatically W is 0. So what can we say? The heat absorbed by the gas goes entirely to change its internal energy and its temperature. Right? The change in temperature for a given amount of heat is determined by the specific heat of the gas at constant volume. Specific heat of the gas at constant volume. Next, isobaric process. Isobaric process means pressure is fixed now. So what is the work done by the gas? Work done by the gas is P into V2 minus V1, that is equal to mu R into T2 minus T1. So it is the number of moles of the gas, and universal gas constant is the temperature difference, and it is the difference in volume. So here, since the temperature is changing now from T to T1, that's why internal energy also changes. The heat absorbed goes partially to increase internal energy and partially to do the work. That is what here W is equal to P into V2 minus V1. So the change in temperature finally for a given amount of heat is determined by the specific heat of the gas at constant pressure. By the specific heat of the gas at constant pressure, right? Okay. At last, cyclic process. In case of cyclic process, the system returns to its initial state now. That's why you can say internal energy of a state variable delta U is equal to 0 for a cyclic process, right? From this equation, you can say total heat absorbed equals to the work done by the system. See, W is equal, delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W, right? So when delta U is equal to 0, you can say delta Q is equal to delta W, So that's why what is that? Total heat absorbed equals to the work done by the system. Okay, that is. So that is the information we discussed in this class. So that here we had a discussion about different types of thermodynamic process: quasi-static process, isothermal process, adiabatic process, isochoric process, and isobaric process. At last we discussed cyclic process also. Okay, right. Thank you. In our next class, we'll continue with in our next class, we'll continue to discuss heat engines, and along with that heat engines, we also will discuss refrigerators and heat pumps. Okay. Thank you.